Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome to my channel. For those who are returning visitors, welcome back and thank you. I am here to do a tutorial on a couple of cards that I made for the holiday season. This is my second tutorial. My first tutorial I made these cards just to show a couple. And after making these cards, I had some leftover scraps. You see the solid panels in the background? The red, the dove, and in this one, the green. I had some leftover cardstock, and that is some beautiful Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I was not going to let that go to waste. Was determined to use it in another card, and I figured out a way that I can go ahead and do that. So let me show you what you will need for these cards. And again, I am crafting my stash. That's my goal. So it is going to be a 3-layer or 3-panel card. The first one, the base panel is going to be the 8.5 by 4 scrap that I had left over. Okay, and I folded that. So here's the 8.5 by 4. I just folded it in the middle, just matched the edges, folded it in half, and used my bone folder to go ahead and make a nice crisp fold so that I'm left with a top folding panel. Then I cut another panel, solid color. I use craft color, and this is just basic craft color cardstock. It might be the Recollections brand or the brand that you get at Michael's when they have those super values. I have another panel, right? This panel is 4.5 by 3.5, and it's going to go on top there, right? And then I'm using more of the journaling cards that I picked up at Tuesday morning, and these journaling cards are 4 by 3, and I'm going to put that on top there. Okay, and in keeping with crafting my stash, most of which seems to be from Tuesday morning, I am going to use some of the buttons, these buttons that I picked up from a button assortment, again from Tuesday morning. So let me first of all share some of the SKU numbers in case you are interested in finding the items. So the journaling cards are from these Cards in an Instant, and here's the SKU. I picked these up at Tuesday morning a little bit ago, and I also used some of the journaling cards from this pack, and I picked this up from Tuesday morning as well. So there's the SKU. And for this particular one, this one came with a bunch of different journaling cards in the back. I thought it was going to be 4 styles and a bunch of those 4 styles, but I was totally wrong. It's just a lot of different styles. And I ended up using this Happy Holiday one here. Okay. Then I used the buttons, the Snowflake button pack from Tuesday morning. This pack right here. And here's the SKU for that. Okay, so using those items, a base, a panel on top of that, some distress inks, I made this super cute card. Here's the first one I made. Here's the second one I made. So you see you have your base, top folding card. You have the craft panel on top of that one. Then you have the journaling card on top of that one. I distress each of the cards the same color, just so that you kind of have like a running I don't want to say it's not matchy-matchy, but I find that if you use the same distress ink on each of the panels, it just brings the card together, if that makes sense. And then here are the snowflake buttons that I glued to the bottom. So super cute. Let me go ahead and show how I accomplished this. So what I did first, I picked out a distress ink, and this time I went with Aged Mahogany. And you don't have to use a distress ink. You can use any ink you have at home, really. You just need something to just add some color or contrast to the edges. And like I said, I wanted to use the same color on all 3 panels so that it just coordinated better. It kind of just brought everything, all 3 panels together. So using my distress ink, using my blending tool, I'm going to go ahead and distress the edges. So guys, this is going to be one of 2 cards that I will be showing you. This one was the easiest, so I decided to show this one first. But I will also be showing a second card. That card is going to use some heat embossing powder. So I decided to do that one second because it's going to require that I clear off my desk to make room for my Misty, so that I can stamp these sentiments and get a good clean stamp. Make sure I don't mess those up. So I figured I'll film this one first, and then I'll take a small or short break. Then I'll come back and show you the second card. So there we have 2 panels blended. Let's go ahead, distress this one a little bit. And I picked this color, Aged Mahogany, because I thought it showed up best on all 3 panels. So went with that. I love my distress inks. I do. Okay, so there we have all 3 panels. I have my ATG, so let me go ahead and adhere I'm going to go ahead and put a little strip across there as well. All right, so we'll put that to the side. I'll put some on here too. Oh boy, what a day, guys. I spent most of my day filming entries for my Gorgeous Girls challenge. So now that those videos are done and posted, I thought I would go ahead and film this tutorial. So here's my card. Okay, and I'm going to start by putting the craft panel. So again, just for the sake of repeating measurements, this is 8.5 by 4 folded in half. Okay, this panel is 4.5 by 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the base panel, and I'm not going to do it centered because I don't want it centered. I want it closer to the top so that I have a nice strip of the red cardstock at the bottom, so I have room to adhere the buttons. So let's see. Need to move that over a little bit. All right. Okay, and then we're going to adhere this one to it. And these are super simple cards, and that's intentional. That's because, you know, I have lots of them to make. There will be a handful of special cards that I will take the time to stamp out, color, and make something a little more entailed. But I can't do that for the 50 plus cards that I need to make. So this is a pretty good alternative. And I think these are super cute. They still qualify as handmade for sure. So we need our buttons for this one. Let me go ahead and pick 3 buttons. I'm going to use my little snipper here to cut off the shank of the buttons. You see that? I'm going to cut that shank off. It's going to go flying. Boy, I have a lot of those. You hear that? Those things go flying everywhere. I have like a collection of these running on the floor. Ooh, okay. I'm going to pick a different one because that shank is a little too, I don't know. We'll pick, actually I like this one. This is kind of different. I'm going to pick this one. And I picked another one with that big shank. Okay, here we go. Just don't want a shank that's too big. Oh, you heard that one. That was a good one. I'm going to use my glue here. Oh yeah, I love buttons. If you love buttons, or if you have friends who love buttons, or a crafty friend who likes crafting with buttons, then this is definitely a nice way to make something special to them, because it incorporates buttons without spending forever and a day doing it. So I'm sorry I'm a little off camera right now. I'm just putting some glue on here. Nothing too exciting there. Here's the button. And what inspired the whole snowflake concept along the bottom here was the journaling card itself. That image kind of reminds me a little bit of a snowflake. So I decided to go ahead, embrace that theme, and run with it. All right, here's the second one. Right there. And here's the third one. Right there. So super simple. I'm going to turn that a little bit just so that it's a little different than the other one. Super simple, super cute card. There it is. And I think it's awesome. The best part about it, used my stash to make it. I did. I'm determined, good people, to use my stash. And so here's card number 1. Here's the one we just made together. Here's another. And here's a third. So I'm going to go ahead, pause. Maybe this will be a 2-part video. Clear up my craft table here and set up for the second card. So join me for that one.